What is music like when you can't hear it? How do deaf and hard of hearing people experience an art form that seemingly only caters to those with functioning cochleas? There is a common misconception that music is only heard and can therefore only be appreciated by hearing people. Within the deaf and hard of hearing community, there are not only those who love music and listen to it in their daily lives, but also those who play instruments and can even create their own music.
It is generally assumed that deaf and hard of hearing people enjoy music through tactile sensations. Researchers have even shown that deaf people are able to sense vibrations in music in the same part of the brain that hearing people use to process auditory stimulation in the auditory cortex. In other words, these findings suggest that the experience deaf people have when feeling music is similar to the experience other people have when hearing music.
Indeed, music is felt in varying degrees by everyone on a physical level. For example, everyone knows what it's like to feel the sharp kick of a drum against one's skin, or what it's like to experience the low hum of the bass line in one's chest and bones. Earplugs are generally used to protect our hearing, but they also can be used to give hearing people an idea of what music would sound like if one was auditorily impaired.
However, hearing people can only try to imagine the spectrum of sensations deaf and hard of hearing people experience while listening to music, which are much more finely tuned and developed compared to those experienced by hearing people. The variety of textures of different instruments and varying rhythms all come together to form a spectacular tactile symphony.
What people are commonly unaware of are the already established deaf musicians who are making their name in both the hearing and deaf worlds. Sean Forbes is a deaf musician and co-founder of DPAN, the Deaf Performing Arts Network, a nonprofit organization that helps bring music videos to deaf people. Established in 2007, DPAN's goal is to create top-quality ASL-centric music videos. The organization hopes to make music and music culture more accessible to people who have been excluded from participation in the past, mainly the deaf and hard of hearing community.
Deaf since the age of 1, Forbes aims to dispel misconceptions people have about deaf music with his lyrics and songs. In his videos, Forbes raps on beat and sings on key about being deaf, all while signing his lyrics to the viewer. He also incorporates vibrant closed captioning of his lyrics so as to make his videos accessible to any and everyone.
Forbes is not the only deaf musician out there, however. There are many others, including Signmark, a deaf Finnish rap artist who became the first deaf person in the world to land a record deal. He describes his music as hip-hop that takes a stand, and his lyrics focus on the history, culture, and rights of the Finnish signing community.
Another example is Beethoven's Nightmare, the first ever deaf rock band to be created. The band is composed of 3 deaf musicians who met 30 years ago at Gallaudet University and whose aim is to educate others about deaf culture and language through their music.
All of these artists work towards the same goal of bridging the gap between the deaf and hearing worlds by being outspoken in their pride in being deaf, incorporating this idea of deaf identity into their lyrics and songs, and by ultimately demonstrating to people that one does not need to be able to hear in order to enjoy music or to be a successful musician.
Deaf and that, I'm so that. Deaf and that, but I'm